RL Page. Let me bring her on up to the party. Hey there.
Hey, Lolita. Oh, it is so amazing to be here, girl. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. When I heard you, first of all, you're powerful, right? And then I've been in some rooms. Y'all know I met her on an audio app. I tell you, the connections, baby. If you are not on Clubhouse or any other social apps to hear audio, like to
Yeah,
hear people's authenticity, y'all are missing out on
yeah.
some serious connections, some lifelong
You're right.
ones. But when you spoke in a room one time, I was like, who is, first of all, the accent, baby, you bring it all. You bring it all. And then to hear your story, I said, you've got to be on my podcast. So welcome to the party.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I love you. I just love you. So I'm so excited to be here. So thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I would love for you to introduce yourself by way of one power strength that you have. So think about one of your strengths and then talk to us about it and talk to us about who you are.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a tall order, but okay. It's always hard to talk about your strengths. So the one thing that I love about you though, Lolita, that I've got to say this, but Lolita is the one that I hear when asked that question. Talk about you and tell the power of I am and who you are. So here I go, all because of Lolita.
Ah.
Uh, so I am Tara L. Page, and I am a community builder. And I have to say that because I love the power of community. I love the power of bringing people together and connecting them and, finding the strengths and weaknesses of everybody, but learning how to connect each other because of your strengths and because of your weaknesses. Like that's the beauty of community. So I am a community builder.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You know what? I love that. And you are a community builder. So, hey, Regina, who's in the house. We have another LinkedIn user. I don't know what your name is because I can't see it, but you bring greetings. Hey. And then we have a Facebook user. Don't know who you are, but they say, hey, girl, hey. So I love this here. Community. And that's exactly what we're talking about right here. You are a community builder. And let me tell you why. Not only did you go from zero to over 200,000 folks inside of your Facebook group, but when you come around, you have this electric energy, right? You do. You have this electric energy that people are drawn to. I know I am. So I would love for you to talk about, how did you build your community? Was it always a dream of yours? Like Facebook is it? Here I
Yeah,
come.
right. So, actually, I've been in the game of online or in the space of online life for a while. So since like 2010, 2011, just doing things. And I've always prayed for a large community, a large platform. And it wasn't just because I just wanted to be the leader of a large platform. I love the power of community. And I love being able to help and allow people to just join me and me join them. That was my prayer, right? To just have a huge platform. Well, tell God what you want, and then he'll tell you what's going on, right? Well, during the pandemic, let me go back a little bit. I was always coaching business. Inspirational speaker, empowerment speaker, and all this good stuff. So taught business and was thinking, okay, so my platform is going to come from me coaching and doing business and all this stuff, and it didn't. During the pandemic, my husband and I had just purchased our forever home. I have a porch. I have a side patio. I have a large back patio. I have a 4-car carport, covered carport, and then we have another large area. Plus, we have 9 acres. So it was somewhere that I was literally sitting on my couch crying, and I was like, I cannot believe we're in a pandemic.
Mhm.
What is going on? And I walked outside and I was like, you know what? I'm going to decorate my patios. And I was starting to literally look for inspiration, but I wanted to find inspiration that wasn't just one sided. And I was looking for brown girls. I couldn't find it. So I was like, you know what? Let me create this
Yeah.
space. And that's when my group was born. And I'm thinking, 50 people, 100 people, we can find some inspiration, and we can empower each other, and we can sit on the patio and have good drinks and good food and
Mhm.
good fun. But zeros. April 23rd, 2020 to date, over 233,000 Black women in that group. And following that, my brand, the Patio Chick, which is the outdoor living lifestyle brand, yields, it adds on to, my following. So, and it's just, have something for everybody. And it's just amazing that I've created a space that we can just have a good time and just be outside. So that's how it all began.
I love it. It all began by wanting to get a community for yourself. That's what I heard, right? Wanting to find a community for yourself. And guess what you also said is when you didn't find it, then you created one. And then, how often aren't we creating what we want to see? How often aren't we creating things in the world? I think it's amazing. And actually, now I use that word amazing, and Kim said, absolutely amazing. It is, right? So here's the thing. Over 233,000 people that you can impact. You are impacting every single day. Talk to me about when chaos happens. How do you maintain that connection?
So let me tell you, and this is crazy because people think that when you create a community and it starts growing or it gets big, or even if you have 100 people or 1,000 people, whatever, putting rules in place, that's key. Mm-hmm. That is key. And people, try to let everybody slide. But when you let everybody slide, it creates chaos. Right? Even when you don't let everybody slide and somebody slips through the crack, it creates a chaotic moment. But you still have to hold fast to your truth and what you've created and what you are creating for the masses. So one of the things that, in the chaos of it all, people would come in and slip through and say something that was like, no, this is not the place. Standing my ground and understanding allowed everybody in the community to rally around people who weren't doing what they were supposed to do. And they would, baby, I tell you, the neighborhood watch is live and live in color. They are serious. And they immediately are like, you know what? This is not what we're going to, this is not here. This is not what we do. But you have to teach people how to treat your community and how to respect your community, even in the face of chaos. They didn't just, some of them jumped in, but most of the time people don't jump in and get chaotic with it. They're like, no, this is not the place. They report it and then we move on. So it's even in the face of chaos, even in the face of it, it works. It works. Once you stand your ground, you create your rules and you expect, and you expect everyone to follow them. You respect them and they respect you.
Yes. So, create a place and a space for comfort, right?
Yeah.
Create that space. I love that you said that, because when I'm always giving acronyms here, and I love, me, I love an acronym, honey.
I love it.
I love a powerful acronym. And that C, and I'm doing it in the midst of chaos, right? Because here's the thing, chaos comes in our lives all the time, not just all the time, especially when you talk about community. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic so much about building the community and have you as a community builder right here is because chaos is going to come. Exactly what you said. It will come. But how have you created the space, the norm, and the culture, right? And the culture. Yeah. And I love that you said my neighborhood watch is on point. And they're on point because they know how you roll, right? Setting expectations. So tell us because folks that are not already in there need to go ahead and up in there. Tell us about your Facebook group so people could join on in, and then tell us about the rules for your group.
Yeah, absolutely. So the group is Black Women Who Love Outdoor Living Spaces. And it is, we're pretty strict about the women who are in there. And, but if you do not fit the criteria to be in that particular group, the Patio Chick, I'm all over all social media platforms, and you can definitely follow me there for tips and tricks and hacks for creating a patio space that your friends and your family will be jealous of. So you can definitely follow me anywhere. But yeah, so wait a minute, Lolita, what was your question? Girl, I said that.
Okay, girl, that's okay. I was asking you, what are some of the rules that you have created in your culture, in your group?
Yeah, so one big one is, what we don't solicit, like you can't come in here, because then it ends up being a sales spot. Like so we don't do that. You have to respect everyone. You have to respect people. And the biggest thing is you may not like that a person posted a front door that they created that's polka dot yellow and green with black and white stripes and purple butterflies. But that has nothing to do with you. The purpose of us is to support one another. And the fact that you went out there and you did it, sis. You did it, girl. You did. Listen, if that's what you want, honey, if you like it, I love it. And truly, truly letting everybody see this is about support. This is not about you. This is their house. They pay the rent. They pay the mortgage. They pay the bills. You ain't got nothing to do with that. All you got to do is sit back and clap. So that's a big thing. Respecting one another. So, and just clapping for one another, just literally understanding that, digital currency is a simple is a simple heart that you can go and you can make somebody's day by simply just giving them some love and showing them some love by clicking a like, by pushing a heart. That makes such a big difference. So we very rarely have posts that go into that group that are not, tapped or touched. Like somebody's always liking or loving somebody's post. And when they don't, they'll notify me. Facebook notifies me and say, hey, so-and-so created a post. Would you like to be the first to respond? And I'll go in and I'll respond to that post. But we rarely have posts. That happens maybe 2 or 3 times a month, maybe, and that's maybe. I haven't had any this month. So maybe, but yeah, it's just about supporting and loving, empowering and inspiring each other to just get out there and do what you do and make a space for you and create a space for you. So we keep those rules solid, and the neighborhood watch is on point. I love it.
Well, I love that. Sorry, some of what you just talked about those rules specifically for your Facebook group, but now let's take that into just community as a whole, right?
Yeah.
Some of those things about respect that you talked about, some of those things about people feeling disrespected, but really are you like, what is it inside of you that's feeling that disrespect, and then how you going to show up in that, right?
Yeah.
Some of the other things you talked about is the no solicitation, but I've even talked on here before, just in general, about people always coming to the table and wanting to sell you on something up front. So I'm talking about life now. Right? Get to know me first. We are on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and we're on YouTube right now. How many times on LinkedIn you don't even know the person? They haven't even said hi yet, and they trying to sell you something.
Oh my gosh. Daily.
About 5 times a day.
Daily. Like, do you know, first of all, I don't even have any babies. Why are you selling me something about babies? I don't even have any babies. I mean, I have grandbabies, but that's their parents. You need to find them, like, right? So it's all kind of stuff all the time. And it's like, get to know me. And relationships mean everything. And that's the root of a community, building relationships. And it's not, and even when I teach about community and building community, because I built this platform, I teach that it's not just from me to you. It's not just from me to my people. It's from me to my people to me, and them to each other. Building relationships is important. And that relationship just circles around, and like you get to touch and tap into everybody. And that's important. So yeah, get to know me before you start selling some stuff, or get to know somebody. Just talk to somebody.
I love it. Last night, I'm sure you watched the Oscars. Yeah. Last night, and we won't stay on it long, but as we talk community, as we talk building, I so much. I've talked about this what time is it now? It's 12:16 p.m. right? Eastern Standard Time, at least. And I've been talking about this all morning, and I've heard from different people on what their opinions are, but in relation to community, I was thinking, and what I'm really talking about is Will Smith and Chris Rock. What allows us to talk about that? Well, it happened on national TV. So I'm in.
Absolutely.
And I know you are having a discussion tonight on it, right?
Yes, we're having a special Patio Chick chat tonight. It'll be on my open page, the Patio Chick, as well as in my private group. But I'm going to bring Lolita up. We're going to bring some other guests up, and we're going to have a full-on chat about this, because that's what we do on the patio. We have good conversations. So we're going to talk about that tonight.
Yes. One of the things I will say during this podcast here is I felt so many emotions from that.
Yeah.
I felt emotions like how dare you? I
Yeah.
felt emotions like, wow, it was a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, from the beginning to the end, there were jokes being made. But you
Mhm.
know what? I believe that there are so many deep-rooted things that was pinned up inside of him that
Yep.
this isn't just about that one line,
It
clearly,
wasn't.
right?
Wasn't.
This is about this pinned up stuff. And I'm saying this here because sometimes we have so much stuff and so much pressure inside of us, is that when it's time to go boom and
Yeah.
bam, sometimes it happens at the most inopportune times,
Right.
right?
Right. I feel all of that,
Hmm.
and not just the pinned up stuff that was inside of him, but the the process that he was going through with his wife. We don't
Yeah.
know that. They
Yeah.
didn't, and although Jada spoke about that, she has said things about that, but we haven't heard how he felt. We have never heard her cry in front of Will. We don't know what that conversation was like. We don't know how she felt the first
Mhm.
time she realized that I've got to shave all of my hair. I'll never have my hair back. I was wearing my hair funky fly. I could add weave. I can do this. And now there's not a choice. It's a choice, but it's like, I could either wear tracks in my hair with my hair. Now it's like I've got to wear a wig or I got to go bald. Like those are the only two options, right? So we don't know all of the behind the scenes stuff,
Mhm.
pinned up stuff that they went through during this process. Another thing is,
Yes.
with Chris, unfortunately, as a comedian and as a host, you have to ad lib because they may post up on the screen on the monitor, hey, you need to go for another 30 seconds. We have no idea what was going on. And he just looked around and was
Yeah.
like, okay, boom. And you just don't know. And everybody is a target. Unfortunately, everybody is a target. So
Mhm.
it was a lot of emotions. I tell you, I'm for Will, I'm against Will, I'm for Chris, I'm against Chris. Like it's a lot because it
Yeah.
was a lot going on in that very moment. And it's so many variables that we have no idea about.
Yes. And it's interesting. I don't know who the Facebook user is because I can't see it, but I love this. We have to lift up hope and help Will. He is suffering. Let's embrace him and Chris. Absolutely. And
Yeah,
hands down.
absolutely.
What was real
Absolutely.
clear is that he's suffering
Yeah,
and there's a
absolutely.
lot that's going on.
Yep.
What's not always so clear is that if that line didn't happen, then maybe we would still not know. Now, to know their story and to see whatever we see on the outskirts of things, right? We know that there is suffering going on. We know there's got to be,
Yeah.
even though, right, they're public. It's emotion, and all of it is built up as once. And quite frankly, I think he found it funny first. And
Yeah.
then when you see the reaction that your wife is having, then you get that protective moment. So I don't condone what he did. I actually think but what I will say is just like um Regina just said, the grief, the sadness, the struggle, the pain,
Mhm. Yeah.
all of it came to a bubble, to a bubble.
It did.
Stacy, that was Stacy Luckett. Okay. Thanks, Stacy. Yes, that was Stacy who said, let's lift him up. Absolutely, both of them.
We
But
should.
I'll tell you oh, so much emotion. But as we talk about community and building it, I think that piece right there is really lifting folks up in prayer and lifting folks up when we see that something's not right,
Right.
right?
Right.
Where is your community and how are they rallying around you? So
Right.
let me ask you this. Because I wrote down a couple things. I wrote create a space and a place, right, for your culture. I
Absolutely.
wrote hone in with your core values. Like where is it that you are? And I love what you're doing is that you let it be known. These are what my core values are. This is how this community is going to run.
Mhm.
Um, ask for help when needed.
Yeah.
Ask for help when needed. What's some success stories that you've seen inside of your community? I know there's so many. What's like maybe one or two?
Oh my gosh. I have to say the women who've never been outside, who were just like, I had this house for 14 years. And one in particular story comes to mind. She was just like, I had this house for 14 years. I've had this patio for 14 years. And I just put this where I put the trash at before I go put the trash out to the road on the side of the road. Like literally, she was like, I just put the trash out there and then I take the trash out the next morning. Cause you have certain times to take the trash out the next morning, to get it out of the house. I knew that was my trash spot. And it was like, wow. And the next thing you know, she decorated it and it had, I mean, just beautiful. It's this beautiful space. And it, you know, she had her lounge chairs and she was so proud. She was so proud that she created this space that she can go and now read because she was an avid reader. And she just, you know, she never thought that she would like being in this space that she had for 14 years. And she said that so many times in her story when she was telling us that I had this space for 14 years. I've never been out here. I didn't even think about coming out here. And now y'all got me spending all of my money. And I'm like, but you know, that's a success story because people have found to extend their homes to their outside. And one of the things that I say, and I know this is it's cliche, is that, you know, being one with nature is amazing. It is so calming. And people don't understand that until they're pushed to do that, or they see examples of what that truly looks like. And what I've created in this group is that people can see examples of success stories and go and create their own success stories. So that was one. And another one that was so near and dear to my heart was a young lady who, she had a daughter who she recently, and she shared, remember, this is a place of inspiration and empowerment. She shared with us that her daughter had been suicidal and she was on the mend. She was coming back, but her daughter too was an avid reader. And she remembered her daughter as this avid reader. And then but she wasn't, because she was suicidal. She was depressed. She started to go out and create this beautiful space outside on her patio. And she, you know, I mean, and it was beautiful. She posted pictures of it. It was beautiful yellow. It's all this, you know, just gorgeous. And then she posted a picture with her daughter and she was saying how her daughter is reading again and she's finding space, a place to go outside on this beautiful patio that she created. And I mean, the healing success of that,
come on,
the beauty of that. Oh my gosh, like that is just amazing. And for her to share that story, I mean, I think that story got over like 3,000 comments and thousands and tens of thousands of likes. Like it was just beautiful. It was just a beautiful success story. That's success to me. That is success.
I was thinking about that and it made me think about I always talk about your most be free space.
Yeah.
Where are you when you feel your most free, where you could close your eyes and relax? And that place right there is your most creative space too. So if you're listening or you're watching or you're listening on Pandora or any other streaming platforms, think about where your most be free space is. Right? Mine's, I talk about all the time, is around water and trees. And how can you bring a piece of that into your day? And in this case, right, Tara, the patio chick, would say, how can you bring a piece of that onto your patio or your outdoor space? Right?
Yeah.
What about a waterfall? Or if you don't have money for that, guess what? That's okay. Because Pandora is free, honey. And you can get right on Pandora.
Yes, Pandora. I know that Big Lots had at one time sound machines. You can buy them all over. Amazon. I mean, all of that. You can check out my Amazon shop. I have some Pandora. I mean, I have the sound machines in there. Like, it's just so many ways that you can recreate the sounds that allow you to be free in your space. So
yes, exactly. Pictures. You know, I love being around trees. What if I don't live in an area that's around trees? Come on now, green. Come on now, fall colors. Come on now. How do you grab that piece? So if you're leaving with nothing else, it's like build the area that you want, build the area that you need to release because there's healing in it. Oh, Tara, that was such a good share.
Yeah.
I love that. Listen, I always have 3 power questions that I ask. You ready? Because it's a come as you are round.
I'm ready.
Okay. Oh, look, before we start, Regina, yes, Alley of Ambiance. Come on now.
Come on, Regina. I love it.
Yes, come on now. I love it. Yes, pop in and let us know, where are your most be free spaces and how have you been able to pull that into where you are, like what you're doing today, into your everyday. It's so important, right? And in the midst of chaos, which we're talking about right now, like in the midst of chaos, I talk about this too, is that what if around you it feels chaotic, right? There's this whirlwind that's around you and around you, because it is. right? There's doubt, there's fear, there's expectation, there's people talking about you, there's you on the news now and a meme for the next 15
Yeah.
years, right?
Yeah.
There's so much. But what if we sat ourselves right in the middle of that and chose to pause for a minute?
Yeah.
Just pause for the cause.
Yeah.
What if you could get your most be free space?
Yeah.
That will allow you to then, with intention, grab one piece at a time. And now you see a light and a path forward. It's true. Do that. I love that. Stacy said the lake.
Yeah.
Yes, the lake is
Yeah.
her most be free space.
Love it.
Thank you. Right?
Love
You
it.
got to know it. If you don't know it, do some work and figure it
I
out.
know. Exactly.
Where's your most be free space, Sarah?
On a patio. And you know, I love my patio, but I also like to find other spaces. I'm a traveler and I
Mhm.
love to be in different spaces and places because I love to always dream of those places. You know, when you're in a space, you
Mhm.
can always bring a little bit of that back home.
Yeah.
And so I just love being outside. I love feeling the sun on my skin. I love feeling the breeze run through my hair. I love I just like the smell of outside, the feeling of outside. So I'm like, that's my spot.
Yeah, so if you are watching this and you are working a 9 to 5, then add into your calendar to take a walk around the building.
Yeah,
Add into your calendar. So the point is know where your most be free space is
yeah,
and figure out how you can incorporate that into your day, because what it does is it resets you. It
mm,
does that thing. And I talk to my clients about it all the time. And I'm sure you talk to your patio chicks
yeah,
about it too, right? Oh,
yeah,
so good. All right,
yeah.
let's get into these questions.
All
The
righty.
first is, why is the work you do so important?
You know what? I didn't realize in the beginning, I did not realize it was so important until I
Mhm,
had so many Black women tap in.
mhm,
And when you look at what's happening in America right now, when people ask me all the time, well, why did you create a space that was just for Black women?
mhm,
And no matter who you are, when you look at the fight that we go through on a daily basis, when we have to smile, we have to grin and bear it, we have to take it, we have to go in our rooms and we have to go in our closets and we have to just cry alone, when we have to be by ourselves to just take it.
mhm,
I created a space where we can be loved, where we can be supported, where we can learn how to release, where we can learn how to be free, where we can learn how to be ourselves and be supported in that. And it's important. And that's why that space will always stay for Black and African American women, because we always have to just take it.
mhm,
And so this work is important because I create a space that we don't have to take it, that
mhm,
we can just be loved and empowered and inspired to just
mhm,
continue. And we have somewhere to, you know, shake it off our shoulders, wipe it off of our back, and we can then go back and deal with something new the next day, because it doesn't quit. It doesn't stop. It's not going to stop today. It's not going to stop tomorrow, but it gives us a place to relax, relate, and release. Going back to my old, was
Yep.
it different world days, you know, but it gives us a place to relax, relate, and release. And that's what we need, a safe place to go, a safe space to be free.
Mhm, mhm. Girl, so much was inside right there. I love it. And I think that safe places are so important because I choose to look at it like it's not exclusion, it is inclusion of those who need it
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
inclusion of the brown and black girls all across the world for a place to be sacred. I
Yeah.
used to get asked why there was a need for an African American affinity network,
Yeah.
right? I used to get asked about that all the time because I chose to be a leader of it in each business unit I was in working for the company. And the reason is because exactly what you were saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need familiar folks that are going through familiar things to
Yeah.
help you to become uncomfortable so then you can become comfortable.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's unwritten rules that are happening that you don't even know about. And
Right.
sometimes you need somebody to share that with you.
Yeah.
And, mentorship, sponsorship, All of those things are important to have people on your train that look different than you, that think differently than you. But there are some spaces and places that are inclusive of a certain community. And I love that you tapped on that,
Yeah.
because so many times there are people who are really feeling a certain kind of way, don't even want to talk about that they're part of a community because
Right.
they feel that it's exclusive.
Yeah.
But what if you recognize that it was inclusive of those that are like you, so that now you can be strengthened so you can walk this thing called life
Yeah.
in a different type of way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Senator Cory Booker, come on now.
Oh my goodness.
When he lifted
Oh,
up Judge Brown, when he lifted her up, I said, come on, were you not screaming?
I was crying.
Yes.
I
Yes.
was like in tears
Yes.
because that part, that I'm about to get choked up now, but that part, and when people understand that it's that type of uplift we need on a daily basis, because it's that type of scrutiny and scrutinizing that we go through. What you saw on display was on display in the public, but what you don't see is what goes on with us on a daily basis
Mhm.
in private.
Mhm.
And so to have a space, oh my goodness, is amazing. But to see Cory do that Cory to Judge
Brown. So,
Brown, thank you,
yeah.
Jackson Brown,
Yes.
is what I am to the women in my group. Every day, constantly. That's what we created, and that's what we have.
That's what we
And
have.
that was oh my gosh, I'm like, whoo,
I know.
yeah,
My son came home talking about it because I'm so excited that they're talking about it in school.
yeah,
And it's because it is a part of history.
yeah,
And when, you know, microaggressions happen all the time,
all the time.
outward bias happens all the time, happens all the time. I had to look at the calendar to make sure we're still in Women's History Month,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
happening all the time.
happening.
Just this month alone, I've spoken to 4 organizations. I had to count them. 4 organizations literally on bias.
Oh yeah,
And how does it look? How do you show up? And how do you talk about it right then on the spot? Because that's when it needs to happen,
yep,
right? Some people are unaware, but some people know exactly what's happening. So what I saw in Cory Booker and Senator Booker, what I saw was him say, "Look, sis, look at me.
mm-hmm.
Let me refuel you and
Come on,
fix your crown just a little bit. Let
just
me refuel you and look right at you. I want you to look in my eyes and know that you are power.
yeah,
Like, period. I want to affirm you in this moment in front of the world so that you
yes,
know that I'm here for you and God's got your back." Come on now. I was like, I mean, it tears, yes,
yeah,
high fives on
yes,
replay.
yes, yes. I watched it a lot.
Yes. And that's what we need is for people
Yeah,
to, when you see something happening, say it. Say
yeah,
it right there in the moment. Because what do you have to lose? Right.
yeah,
Some people would say everything, but what I tell you is that, are you sleeping at night?
yeah,
Right. Oh, we're
yeah,
talking about the power of community. We're
yeah,
talking about when chaos hits. We're talking about how to build. And then sometimes I talk about this a lot too, right? Is when you're on your train, because I believe we are a conductor aboard our own train.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
of
yeah.
you all that's looking in have heard me talk about this change train before, but mine has beautiful script. It's purple. It says Lolita, right?
Yes,
It's
yes,
beautiful. And you're standing at the as the conductor. That means that you can choose to open up your doors
yes.
and allow folks off of your train.
You can.
That means that sometimes people are going to self-select, press the little thing, put a little thing over there to get off
Yeah,
and know that that's okay. But sometimes you have to make room for the new folks that want to be a part of your community because they see your vision.
yep,
They understand your vision and they're going to help you with that vision.
yes.
Oh, so good. So good. Okay. The second question is look at us. The first question, that was the first one.
Oh goodness. Oh, they are definitely powerful. I'm ready though. I'm ready. Let's go.
The second one, we are in the Come As You Are round for Coaching Cocktails and Conversations, the podcast. And the second one is, what is a strength that you have today? You didn't always recognize it was a strength, but it's there.
Um, I would have to say the power of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I've had people to say, oh, you have leadership qualities. Oh, you would be a great leader. But if you don't really believe that, you don't push forward in that position. You don't always want to be the leader. When being an entrepreneur and being in a space where I've created this now, building an empire, I've got to lead my people. I've got to lead everybody that's, behind me, that's on side of me, that's, I'm the leader of this camp. I'm the leader. I'm the conductor of this train.
Yeah.
I'm moving this train. It's what I say and people start moving. So when I talk, they listen and they execute. And at some point you're thinking, oh, but I don't want to tell them. I mean, they're adults. I mean, why do I have to tell? Oh my gosh. And that's where I was in my, full transparency here. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to tell adults what to do. I mean, I'm a school teacher. I taught school 16 years. I mean, I tell the kids what to do, but I'm not telling other adults what to do. I don't want to do that. But, as a leader, doesn't mean that I'm a mean person. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It means that I'm a leader, that I have expectations, that I expect things to get done. And if you're going to be a part of this train, that you're here because you're here to move the train along. I don't need any dead weight. I've got to lead you into doing what needs to be done to keep the wheels turning. So that means that I have to be a great leader and I have to explain and say, this is what needs to be done. Now you can see why this train is continuing to move. If I don't be a leader, if I'm not a leader, if I don't share what needs to be done, then everybody is going to be in a chaotic space, and that's dysfunctional. We don't want dysfunction. I can't build an empire amongst dysfunction. I have to lead my people because we got a hill to climb in this train. You see, we've got a hill to climb. So I need to tell y'all what to do. So you all need to get the coal and you need to keep, feeding the steamer. You need to keep doing it. I need somebody to over here oiling this. I need somebody over here doing this. The leader sees it all.
Yeah.
Everyone else has to execute. Not everybody can eat. Everybody can ride and everybody can get off and we can rejoice on the big patio. We can have a good time. Once we stop, we can get off and we can all have a great time on the patio. So this is, it's being a leader. It is.
Yes. I love that. Stacy said, and because people listen, we must be responsible with their lives. Who we connect with matters. What we say matters. Absolutely. Yes. Words have power and there's power in our words. Hashtag absolutely. Yeah. And Maria, hey there. Yes. Maria said to say nothing is saying something. No one should ever feel, no one should ever be complacent. And absolutely. That was more on what we were talking about before, right? Yeah. Today we're talking about connection and how chaos comes and what you do when all of this chaos comes. And now I'm in this Come As You Are round with Tara, the patio chick, right here on Coaching Cocktails and Conversations. And here's the third question is, what is one barrier that still stands before you today?
Oh, man.
You're not easy.
We got to go back to, brown girls in this space, because that's a barrier. Even though I've opened doors for brown girls in this space, because when you look at it, we're not in this space. We're not in the patio space. We're not in the outdoor space. So when you look at Kawasaki ATVs, you never see a brown girl, a black girl, or a black family or brown family on Kawasaki's or other. I have a Kawasaki, that's why I named that. But even tools, you don't see that when you think of families and being outside and just hanging out outside on the patio. That those things didn't just come. I'm still breaking down walls so that they can bring in even designs that we like. We don't always design with the things that they have out there, but we know based on the designs that they've put out that we are not in those rooms selecting those designs. We are not the buyers. We're not the buyers for this space. You see women who are doing outdoor, well, really not outdoor, but when you look at like the entertainment dishes or utensils or whatever, you're using to just share and have parties and stuff, that's Rachel Ray, it's Martha Stewart, it's the Pioneer Woman. Even with Bev Smith, they quickly removed a lot of her stuff out of the play, out of the way. Aisha Curry had pot, like she had like this whole line in JC Penney, but it's not like it's not like loud and
Yes.
just sharing and all this stuff, you know. But I want to be in this space, and I'm breaking down barriers continually. Like I'm still busting down walls because there needs to be places where young girls that look like me can get a degree in outdoor, like architect, and I mean, and being, because and I'm trying to think, landscape architect, that's what it is, landscape architect, because they don't look at that. That's all about designing. That designing outside, like that's all about the outside design space, and we're not in that space. So I'm still breaking down barriers, and it's still a barrier because I'm still like literally with my hammer and my sledgehammer every day. I got a hammer in one hand for the small spaces, I've got a sledgehammer in the other, and sometimes I got to drop that hammer and get both hands for that sledgehammer. But it's there. But you know what? If I'm the woman for the job, then so be it. I'm going to continue to do that because I have little girls watching me who want to go outside and decorate patios and want to do landscape. But somehow, some way, the society is saying women can't do that. Not only Black women, but women in general. This is a man's job, and it's not only just for Black women. And I'm not opening doors just for brown girls, but me being a brown girl, being in that space opens the door for me, for other girls that look like me, and women in general. So that's important, that I just continue to fight to open up those doors so young girls can go out there and do what they want to do when it comes to being outside.
Yes, yes, and yes. I listen. I've already told Tara that I can already see her on HGTV. We are claiming it. She is manifesting it. This girl right here is doing some amazing things. So how can we help? What's one thing that we can do as a community here for Coaching Cocktails and Conversations in order to help that barrier lessen a little bit?
Oh, you know what? Just social currency. You know, go out there and follow me on all platforms. The Patio Chick, at the Patio Chick. And I'm a little bit of a rebel, so chick is spelled CHIC, like chic. But you know, hey, we're women. We can do want to do, it's Women's Month. Give me some grace. uh, so go out there and like and love, you know, respond, chat with me, talk with me, tap into Patio Chick chats, tap into the conference that's happening in
Yes.
August. Go to patiochick.com and buy your ticket. We're going to have a 3-day awesome conference that is all about getting your space together. And you know what? It's not about just getting your space together. It's about why you need a space. It's about the extending your home so that you can have a place to go to be free. So we need to have these places, and we need to talk about it, and we need to understand that these are the things that we have to function. We need to
Yes.
have these things. So just being a part of any one of my communities, if you fit the criteria to get into the Facebook group, go ahead and join. If not, go ahead and grab a spot on any one of my social media platforms at the Patio Chick, but just be a part. Jump in and create a space that will make your friends and your neighbors jealous, and a space that you will love.
I absolutely love that. Listen, tell us about TPCon because I will be headed to TPCon. It's in Houston, y'all, August the 5th through the 7th. I feel like those are the dates. So tell us
Yeah,
about what they can expect because I think you have this expansive view of what it's
yeah.
going to be. It's not only going to be about the outdoor piece. So tell them what they can expect when they
Yeah.
get there.
So TPC Con is the Patio Chick Conference, and I'm so excited to be hosting this amazing conference in Houston, Texas at the GRB on August 5th through 7th. And literally we're like, I'm gonna give you a rundown of the show real quick. Like Friday, we're doing a meet and greet, then we're having this amazing, oh honey, a hot off the press Patio Chick, I can't even think, fashion show. Oh my goodness, because we got to be fly on the
Right.
patio, right? We got to be fly on the patio. So on Saturday, we have breakout sessions where we are talking about how to decorate your space, all the way to how to feel good on your space. What do you need? We're talking about mental health issues. We're even talking about how to buy your space. We're even going to have banks there that can go ahead and qualify you so that you can go back home and buy your space. So you can buy your home, or you can buy your condo, or you can buy your balcony, or whatever. You can do that. We're going to have things like that. And then on Saturday night, We are having a gala on the patio. Get your dress and come on and hang out with us on the patio because we are going after 5 in this thing, okay? Sunday morning is one of my favorite. Bring your big hat because we are doing a big hat brunch. Praise on the patio on Sunday, and that's how we end, with praise on the patio. I'm a believer, and that's what I love. And so I've just got to give him all the glory and the thanks. And so we are going to have an amazing time just enjoying each other, connecting with each other, continuing to build community, and continuing to uplift and share, and continuing to create a safe space for Black women to just connect, collaborate, and create a space that they love and enjoy. So, yes, we're going to have a good
Yes,
time.
I am so excited. I will absolutely be there. I want to try to squeeze. I'm gonna come a little early because I'm gonna squeeze in a book tour at the local Barnes and Noble. So we're gonna get that
Yes.
going too. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here. If you didn't get to catch all of it, don't worry because it is going to be on the audio streaming platforms, and you can head on over to my YouTube channel where you can not only see what is happening on this one, but you also can see the other podcasts. I didn't always let me tell you about this real quick. So, leveraging the power of technology, I used to record in Zoom, right, for my
Mm,
podcast. And I
okay.
would, for all of them, and I'm on 50 something now, but for all of them, I would have the audio and the video. And do
Hmm.
you know, I deleted all of the video. I was like, I don't need that. Who does that? I don't need that. I just wasn't even thinking. I was just going audio only. I would, make sure it gets put
Look at
up.
me.
Look at me. I mean, something happened in my head one day. I'm like, Lolita, who does that? So now just getting, that's why I put my YouTube right there. You guys go ahead and go there. You can go to podcast.lolitawalker.com and get right into the YouTube that way as well. Or you could just search Lolita Walker right on YouTube. So
Yeah.
I tell you, this is just such a pleasure. I absolutely love having guests here. You have been so amazing. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And I just want to leave these 5 considerations, right? We've been talking about community, and sometimes you find chaos that's within it. Sometimes you find chaos that's within it. So I have these here, and then this is Regina put in her YouTube so she could
Love it.
go the alley of ambience. Thank you so much, Regina, for letting us know this is community. So we want to make sure that that gets in there too. The C is about create a space and place. The H is about hone in with your values. The A is about asking for help from others, right? In the midst of chaos, sometimes when you sit in the power of that pause, you need to go ahead and ask for help. And
Mhm.
and so frequently we don't ask for the help that we need, right? Make sure you do. The O was about opening up to newness. And I love that Tara shared that. I love that she shared opening up to newness, because just because you don't have an outdoor space now doesn't mean you won't have one.
Right.
Yes. Right. Yes. And go on her page, because guess what? There's a million people who could tell you, there's 233,000 people who can tell you today how you could get started, which is amazing. Another piece of that is, we didn't talk about this, but bringing things into your space for your most be free. You did. You shared about the sound maker, right? You shared about that, and that's so important too. Okay. And then the S is about stepping away from chaos. Step away from it. Get the folks off your train.
Yeah.
Get off of other folks' chaotic trains.
Back up.
Back it up. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Just want to say thank you so much. And hey, everybody, tune in to Coaching Cocktails and Conversations. If you loved this right here, if you super loved it, stick around, Tara. If you really loved it, then guess what? Write a review. That's the best thing ever. Make sure you follow Tara. Coaching, once again, is just leaving you with a couple nuggets, and I hope you got a couple here. Cocktails is about celebrating the greatness of who you are. And we had so many people that shared today. Thank you so much for leaving your comments and getting into this juicy conversation. And then conversations is just what we had today. And I had an amazing guest, Tara L. Page. If you are not following her, make sure you do that. She is the Patio Chick on all social platforms. But we really talked about community, what that means, what that looks like, how you build it, setting ground rules, making sure people know the foundation that you're standing upon so that your brand is always protected. And sometimes that brand is you, right? All right. Take care and chat you guys soon. Bye.